goal and an assist. Lavoie moves it ahead to Vermette, the captain at Chicoutimi. Taken down heavily by Bush. It will be an early power play. Coming up, that shot fired wide, comes all the way around. Extra attacker over the boards here. That's off of his skate, comes back around. LeChance will play it down into the corner. Massé back up top to the point. This is Wong. He's going to walk the line. Drops it back. Lavoie, no shot yet. Now he'll find LeChance. LeChance flips that one high. Massé trying to come up with it. And now DuPont will touch it. And the power play coming up here, Frankie.
Yeah, I was ducking for cover there. Pretty close to getting hit.
Here's Wong. That's off of a stick. Vermette will knock it down. And a chance here shorthanded for the Silvertips. It's DuPont trying to break in. Tied up from behind. They'll take it away cleanly. And Guite controls for Chicoutimi.
How's that ankle feeling? Looks pretty good for Landon DuPont. Defenseman trying to catch a breakaway shorthanded.
Now here's Liskey. Guite back to Wong at the blue line. He'll leave it. DeRousseau looking for Massé. Now they'll move it in behind the goal. And Guite will grab it in the corner. Plays it back to Wong at the line. High slot, far side. Massé, swing and a miss. DuPont will grab it, bring it around the boards. Wong keeps it in. 10 seconds left in this game-opening man advantage. Here's DuPont tied up, gets some help, and they will clear the zone. DuPont will come back out. He's lined up on the boards at the top of your screen. Now he'll have the puck. Pops it back. This is the top line out here for the Silvertips. Liskey's going to chase. Bear is there as well. Lavoie will reverse it in behind the goal. Now they'll bring it back across, and Boulins will grab it. As Lavoie gives it to him. And Lavoie will move it out to Schaefer between his legs. Lefebvre drops it off to Lecomte. Broken up by DuPont. Couldn't clear the zone. Another crack at it here. Miettinen has it for the Silvertips. Feeds it ahead to Bear. Bear gets the blue line. Van Hanen far side. Return feed. Bear, wrist shot coming. And that is into the glove. As they look to open up the scoring. Top line buzzing here for Everett. One-timer Liskey, and Beckman's got a glove on that. Exact same spot both times. Very fortunate for Beckman, who has been good. He's already faced 6 shots in this game. Lavoie overskates it. Here's Gould. He's going to send it to the corner. We'll chase after it. Out there with Kaplan and Vaughn. It's been a good line for head coach Steve Hamilton so far in the tournament.
This has been an energy line that's hard to play.
Kaplan steals it. A chance for Vaughn, and he scores! Everett's
got their first power play of the game.
Guite draws the penalty. He'll stay out there on the power play as well. Does not have a point yet in the tournament after scoring 32 goals and having 65 points during the regular season. It'll be a big time to break through here. Lecomte, right side, Guite. Cuts it in at the point, drops it off to Massé. He's got Wong at the blue line, he'll use him. Now Guite, one-timer. And Miller slides across. Miettinen on this face-off. And Miettinen down to a knee and bats it down the ice.
That's a on-purpose face-off going forward right through the gut. Nice play by Miettinen.
Wong's going to wind it up into the slots, gets the zone, now drops it off down into the corner. Guite couldn't find Vermette, and that'll be ripped around the boards, and the Silvertips clear once more.
He's a deceptive passer. That is a big block shot at the side of the net.
Lecomte at center, left side, broken up, and DuPont will play it all the way down the ice. Just 20 seconds left in Chicoutimi's second power play of the game. Boulins forced to circle back, watched by Bear. He's out there with Gould on the kill for the Silvertips. Comes around near side, Liskey got a stick on it, and he'll knock it down, and that will do it. Silverland for the Saguenay, Kaplan for the Silvertips. They'll sit in the box, and we'll get some 4-on-4. Miettinen loses his stick off the drop, picks it back up quickly. Lavoie, left side. Boulins drops it back to Lavoie. Van Hanen watching him. Cuts to the high slot. Hesitation. Now a shot, and that goes off the post as well.
He's saying that it. They're saying that hit the bar, the inside bar.
Well, and the way Van Honen reacted, he kind of looked like he stopped play, and it is a goal. The horn sounds here
into the middle and then hangs onto it just long enough that he can escape the stick of
big here as he sneaks one under the bar, and we're tied at 1.
We heard Jeff O'Neill talking about how you might have to make a play that's a little more courageous. That is a play that's a little more courageous.
Now Heslop, quick give and go. That bounces away from him. Liskey in the corner. Heslop will battle as well. Liskey loses his helmet. He's going to have to rush to the bench, and he does. DuPont's going to go with him as well.
Minor lineup juggles, but that is pretty par for the course for how they've assembled their lines over the course of the tournament. There's always a few moving parts.
Now with speed into the zone, dropping it back for Bear. Bear with a shot. That hit long, and now will be broken up and brought back to center. Linda playing the body. Back to 5-on-5. Bear drops it off for Bush. Bush using his body to protect the puck, plays it in behind the goal. Bear back up top. DuPont settles it down, and he scores! Back in the lineup, and back on the board.
High in the zone, and then this is where Everett does a lot of their work. Carter Bear's hoping that there's someone home. There's no postal code on that puck until there is, and it's Landon DuPont who's the recipient of it. A shot where he drags this puck and falls and is able to beat Lucas Beckman from distance to feel good enough that he could play today, and he gets rewarded with a goal early on. And now he's going for a set play. Watch it, there it is.
Oh, bounced off his stick, but he's got it down low. Centers it right in front, and eventually it'll end up on the stick of LeCompte, and he'll come back the other way. That is nicely played at the blue line by Shentz, and we'll get the offside.
DuPont is, as you watch this shift, Landon DuPont, the edge work, feeling good around the puck, anticipating the play, and then the route that he takes in order to get back onto his right side is going to pay off, because the Carter Bear pass ends up going right where Landon DuPont needs to be.
Lost the puck. LeCompte drops it off, gets it back. Wanted the trailer, but the pass was behind him. Lavoie playing a ton here in the first. That's down the ice. DuPont hustles back for it. Reverses it. And now they'll move it ahead. Gould, he's got DuPont joining him on the wing. Drops it off to him. DuPont now in behind the goal. Final minute of play in the first. Back to the point. Kaplan shot into the glove of Beckman. 25 seconds left to go in the period. Can't win the draw. Coolins along the boards. Van Honen took it away. Here's Van Honen. Waits. Has some time. Swings high with a shot. Beckman the save. Rebound there. And they'll knock it out to the neutral zone. Liskey. DuPont. Waits. Drops it off. Bouncing puck. That'll be cleared. And that will... DuPont will be out there to start the period, and we are underway. Semi-final Friday here in Kelowna. Silvertips lead by 1, and that one out of play.
Landon DuPont is front and center.
Drop it at center ice again. Now DuPont ahead to Bear. DuPont. Liskey straight away, just missed Mietnin, but he's on it. Put it towards the goal, broken up. And now in the corner, they'll move it ahead. Lefebvre. DuPont stands there and breaks it up. Chicoutimi will try the right side with LeCompte. Lefebvre in there as well. Liskey comes up with it. We'll go up the middle of the ice. Van Honen. Now DuPont following up. They're in and on side. He lunges ahead, goes down, and it's flipped back out to center.
Could have been a hand pass.
DuPont again in on the attack, takes it wide. Throws it back to Mietnin. And he could not get a handle on it, and it'll be brought back. And he wants to keep this thing going. He'll play it to LeCompte, stretch pass, gets past DuPont. Walking in, Lefebvre, backhand, finds the trailer, stopped by Miller. Closes the door, point blank on Boulins. Boulins again cuts towards the goal, taken down. Gould under pressure again. Finally, they'll clear, and Kaplan will leave it for Vaughn.
All starts because Lucas Beckman decides he's going to play the puck instead of covering it.
Back the other way, and Beckman will stop.
Anders Miller.
Great pass from Lefebvre, too. He's buried a couple of nice goals so far in this event. Almost set one up.
He's worked well with Lecomte. He's been the trigger man. Lecomte's been the setup man.
Lecomte with 4 assists so far in the tournament. Now here's Gould. Drops it off. Vaughn opened the scoring back in the first, trying to work here against Wong. Now along the board. Shot over the glove of the netminder and into the near corner.
Everett gets a bounce as that puck goes off the linesman, and Heslop's able to try his chance from distance on Beckman.
Wong forced back by DuPont. Now they'll give it to him again, and he'll try the other side. Lecomte got a stick on it. Schaefer gives chase. DuPont takes a quick peek over his shoulder. Heads into the corner. And Chicoutimi will take it away. Wong. Left side. Poulin sends one through. Miller got a blocker on it. And it's over top of the goal. Bounces down low. DuPont. That one bounced off the end boards right to Miettinen. Miettinen will give it to Bush. And they'll send it in. Heslop will give chase. Lavoie first on it. Heslop goes down. They play it back to the point, but the D were changing, and now DuPont over the boards will pick it up. Gives it to Liskey. Liskey, little toe drag at center. He'll follow it up, and he'll get the blue line. Now Liskey walking in. And that'll be broken up, but immediately turned over. Kaplan. Far side. Liskey. Drops it back to DuPont. DuPont working the line. Back to his D partner, Liskey. Liskey cuts it wide. Right side. Sends one through all the way around. And DuPont will have to go back and get it.
DuPont and Liskey look like they have so much fun on the ice together. They both play rover, and they know where each other's going, but it looks like it's unpredictable when you watch it.
Played in. Friendly bounce. Back in. Miettinen gives chase. Comes all the way around. And DuPont will swoop back for the Silvertips. Right side, Heslop, and that will be offside.
They need more around him.
Be nice to see them take some steps with him as the franchise cornerstone. DuPont could end up being a franchise cornerstone himself. He sends it in from center, and now the Silvertips re-engage. Heslop kept it in. Chance first on it, back across. Heslop, one-timer off the post. It was almost 4-1. Back to Heslop again. Not clean, another chance, and they score. Chance puts it home. Silvertips.
Connected.
Top unit over the boards here for Steve Hamilton's group. Right back to DuPont. Throws it across. Shot in off the stick.
Tough for Chicoutimi to find any kind of prolonged offensive zone time or some quality chances. It almost feels like they're at the mercy of Everett's mistakes, if they make any at this point.
Yeah, just 3 shots in the period. Now DuPont drops it off. Bear tried to put it on goal. Back towards the blue line. They'll drop it back off. DuPont lets it slide down into the corner. Gould moves it back around. Hit an official. Miettinen will play it back to Van Honen. Van Honen throws it to DuPont. DuPont waits. Now he'll take one. Hit a couple of sticks. Bounces just wide. Bernier with a chance to clear, but Van Honen keeps it alive. Another crack at it for Chicoutimi. This time they'll get the job done. DuPont skates it to center. Sauces it back. Van Honen. Miettinen. Chance. Back to DuPont. Across. Gould. Side of the goal. Van Honen. DuPont waits. Gives it to Chance. Miettinen in the high slot. Chance gives it back to DuPont at the blue line. Back down to Chance. Could he control it? And that'll be ripped around. DuPont keeps it in at the line. Great play at the point. Miettinen across to Gould. Gould. Miettinen. One-timer broken stick. And Chicoutimi will clear. And that'll do it. In fact, it'll be an icing.
Tonight.
First time I've ever managed to get to one of those machines. It was a dream come true, being able to scoop the popcorn into those bags and buckets. One of our few adventures that we've had here in Kelowna.
We're having a good time.
Popcorn was delicious as well. Now it's center. That's played in. It will be onside, but Chicoutimi controls. DeRousseau And the Saguenayens find a spark late here in the second, trailing by 3. Everett at this point just won't allow it. That's broken up again.
Well, Everett doesn't have to open themselves up to anything they don't want to. They don't have to take any risk. And
Lefebvre wants to go, and Jackson Vaughn is going to pass on this one.
he's ranked 38th on NHL Central Scouting's final rankings. He's got 4 points, like you mentioned, 2 goals. It's been a nice tournament for him, willing to fight as well, playing in a league that doesn't allow fighting. Something foreign for him.
4-on-4, turned over. Van Honen, not the guy that you want to give it away to. Finds me, and then DuPont up there with them as well. They'll drop it to Liskey. Liskey walks in, leaves it for Van Honen, finds some space with a shot, and once again, in a busy
Chicoutimi in the tournament.
Also draft eligible if you're just joining us for the first time. DuPont and Liskey stay out there. Heslop and Shantz come over the boards. Now Liskey, shot fired wide, blocker side. Played around into the corner. Bernier, pressured by Shantz. Has it again and knocks it to Lavoie in behind the net. Tried to give it back to him. And now they'll eventually find Ricard. Untouched to center. Gets the zone. Left side. Heslop is down. Looked like he was taken down by LaChance, and now a heavy hit in the corner, and that's going to draw a penalty. That's going to draw Bear and LaChance. They're in the mix. And now everybody comes in and finds a partner.
Bear got a couple good licks in on LaChance as he joins the party. Bernier's going to the ball. LaChance can see the play. Heslop can't. And then there's Bernier as he takes down Landon DuPont.
And Van Honen, Bear, and DuPont, a ton of skill out there for Everett. And off the draw, Lecomte knocks it down the ice and heads straight off. DuPont will settle it down, and here he goes. Finds the zone, left side. Now leaves it for Van Honen, back to DuPont. DuPont waits. Van Honen with Mietin parked in front. One-timer, DuPont scores! That should do it! DuPont with a pair!
And then it's a 4-on-3, so there's way more space for Van Honen to thread this back to DuPont, who gets himself ready for a one-timer and gets a ton on it. That's a rocket of a one-timer. Van Honen, a little deception, and then that one-timer catches the middle of the net. Had 57 wins and 117 points in the regular season. That's what they look like.
We are underway in the third period. Everett's, they can close this thing out. They're off to a Memorial Cup final for the first time in franchise history. DuPont drops it off. Power play to start the period. That's up in the air, batted down. Mietin will keep it in. He rips it around far side. Bear watching, and now Bear's going to take it to the point for DuPont. DuPont waits, gives it to Van Honen. Van Honen, Mietin, back to Van Honen on the left boards. Back up top to DuPont. Van Honen waits, side of the goal. One-timer, Mietin, and he scores! Off the schneid! Monkey off!
He's a beast, he's a handful.
DuPont keeps it in at the right point. Knocks it back down in behind the goal. Berthelot chips it into the corner. Ricard will give chase. DuPont.
Whoops. Every time he goes into the boards, you hold your breath.
Bounce back up there, made a play on the puck. And they'll eventually get it to Van Honen.
One thing I think Chicoutimi didn't do enough in this game, and we've seen DuPont take some hits in this tournament. It wasn't overly physical with Chicoutimi. I think they accomplished this year.
49, 10, 3, and 2. Here's Liskey, one-timer, nice save. Van Honen. Back past Liskey and to center. DuPont gives it to Liskey. Left side, Mietin. That one bounced behind him. He'll have to clear. Ricard will move it ahead, and they'll send it down in behind Miller. Bear Liskey. Van Hanen to Miettinen. They'll get the zone again. Here's Van Hanen. Far side for Bear or Everett. Vitae. Awfully quiet tournament. Here's Lecomte. He's been one of the better Saguenayens in this event. Van Hanen will take it. Has Miettinen with him. Van Hanen waits. Bear follows up and fires it over the head of the goaltender and all the way down the ice. DuPont in behind his own goal. Quick feed over to Liskey. Liskey off the stick of Bush down the ice. Miettinen first on it. No work there against Gosselin in behind the goal. Comes out to Bear. That's off of a stick and wide. DuPont slides down. And in the corner, he'll go to work against Lavoie. Lavoie, the lone goal scorer for Chicoutimi in this one. There's Liskey again. That one misses DuPont down on the ice.
If you're Van Hanen and you're Everett, you want nothing to do with those situations.
That shot off the pad of the goaltender all the way back out to the right point. Long walks in, sends one into traffic, hit a body, never made it through. Another crack at it. And Miller pokes that one away into the corner. DuPont will grab it for the high out and down the ice. Van Hanen.
Van Hanen especially, and now tonight it feels like this is Miettinen's most around the puck he's been looking dangerous.
Long walks in. Miller stands strong, and they'll come back the other way. Here's Bush walking in, has a man with him. Tried to tuck it home, and Brecourt closes the door on that. Bush still looking for his first of the tournament. Throws that one hard to the net. This is brought into the zone, right up the middle, picked off. Liskey, clever little play with it. And Everett will get it back out to center again. Here's Heslop.
2 seconds to go in this game.
And Everett will get a chance to avenge a 6-2 loss to the Kitchener Rangers. DuPont and the Silver Tips are off to a Memorial Cup final, a date on Sunday.